right, we are ready to get started. We're going to start with a gentle warm up. So feet a little bit more than hip width apart. You're going to start with like a nice gentle arm swing. Just a little bit back and forth. Starting to loosen your back up. And then if that feels good, start to go a little further. Lift your heels a little more. Turn more with each sway side to side. And then maybe speed up just a little bit. If everything's still feeling good, make sure your space is clear. Make sure you're not going to run into anything. But then kick it up even a little bit more. Let your arms really kind of start to fly. All right, and then from there, you're going to bring it back in. We're going to start with our shoulder rotations. I like to do nice big circles, but if you have limited shoulder mobility, it's okay to keep the circles a little smaller. We just want to loosen up the joints. Get everything moving. And then go the other way. And then throw them in and out a couple times. Beautiful. All right, from there, we're going to move to our elbows and do circles with your elbows. Still just trying to make sure everything's moving okay. And go the other way. And then down to your wrists, same thing here. You can go same direction. You can go opposite directions. You can even figure eight it. Just making sure you're getting good mobility in your wrists, working out any kinks. All right, give your arms a wiggle. That should work out your upper body. So bringing your feet out a little bit wider, moving on to our hip rotation, we'll start loosening up our lower body. And go the other way. And bring those feet in. You want to bring them in fairly close together. You're going to start your knees just going forward and back. Check in, make sure they're doing okay today. And then if they're feeling okay, maybe add in a rotational movement. And if you're going in circles, go the other direction. If the circles don't feel good, just keep popping back and forth. All right, bring that to stillness. Moving on down to our ankles. If you have your chair handy, you're going to go ahead and hold on to your chair, or you can just put your hands on your hips, depending on your balance. All right, go the other way. And switch feet. And go the other way. All right, set those down. Give your lower body a good wiggle. All right, for class today, we are gonna need a chair. So make sure you have a chair handy, and you're gonna want probably a set of medium weights and a set of light weights, although you can do it all with just one set if that's what you have available. All right, we are ready to get started. Our first exercise, we're gonna have 30 seconds on one side and 30 seconds on the other side. You're gonna do a static hold on a lunge. Keep your hand on the back of the chair for support. And then you're just gonna be doing a bicep curl. We're gonna switch sides at 30 seconds. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Step back into whatever size lunge is good for you. And here we go. Nice and steady. Make sure you have that tummy squeezed in tight. Tuck your tailbone under a little. Make sure you're working your whole body, not just your legs and your bicep. 5 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to switch. And switch sides. Go straight into that lunge and bicep curl on the opposite side. If you need a little more assistance, go in a shallower lunge and get a good grip on that chair. If you don't, you can just keep a finger or two on it for balance. Slow and steady. And time. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're gonna bring that chair around and grab a weight for each hand. We're gonna do a weighted crossbody toe touch. So we're gonna go feet out nice and wide. You're gonna have your weights on your shoulder. So you're gonna go down to one side, back up, and then down to the other side. Really gonna work your back muscles a little bit on this one. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Go. If you can't reach all the way to the ground, that's okay. But you want to reach as far down as you comfortably can so that you're getting a full range of motion with those back muscles. You may find that it's more helpful to sit on the edge of your chair so that you have freer motion. But if you need a little more support, it's okay to scoop further back on that chair. Almost there, keep it up. And time, beautiful. All right, from here, for our next one, we're going to do weighted leg raises. So for this one, you definitely want to slide your bottom all the way out to the edge of the chair. You're gonna lean back a little bit, and you want a weight on each leg. You can turn them up this way or this way, whichever way is more comfortable for you. And you're just going to have toes pointed, one leg and then the other leg. Now, if you want to make it a little easier, bring it up closer to your body. If you want to make it a little more challenging, bring them out towards your knees. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Another way to up the challenge on this is don't let your heels touch the ground. Keep your core nice and tight and keep your feet hovering in the air the entire time. You really feel the burn on your core that way. Halfway there. If you need a little extra support, you can scoot your bottom back and lean your back against the back of the chair. If you don't, then just hover back a little bit off the back of the chair, right at the edge. And time, beautiful. All right. Next up, we are going to do what's called an Arnold press. Now for me, I'm gonna go down to a little bit lighter weight on this one. You wanna make sure, because it's a compound exercise, it's got 2 different components to it. You want to go for a weight that's easy to do on whichever one is harder for you. So for the Arnold press, you're gonna start with your hands out in cactus arms, come up, and then as you come down, you bring your elbows together in the middle. So up and then in. We're going to do that for 1 minute. Here we go. Up and in. Beautiful. You got it. If you want to up the difficulty, rotate your palms as you come with your hands in front of your face so that your palms face in toward your hands. So the, you know what? Words are hard. So that your palms face in towards your face. There we go. Almost there. 20 more seconds. Try to keep those elbows at the same height as your shoulders if you can. If that's very difficult, you might need to go for a little bit lighter weight. Keep your feet planted on the floor, sitting up nice and tall. And time. Excellent. All right, from here, we're going to move into our chops. So we're going to do a crossbody chop with one weight, reaching up and all the way across. We're going to do 30 seconds on one side, and then we're going to switch sides and do 30 seconds on the other side. All right, we've got 1 minute. Here we go. Nice and slow, good twisting motion. Remember, we're not running a race. We're building strength. And you'll feel this in your arms, but also in your core muscles. Almost time to switch. 5 more seconds. And switch sides. You've got this, nice and steady. Use good control all the way up and all the way down. And time. All right, for our last one, we're definitely going to stick with a lighter weight. We're going to do a front raise all the way up into a tricep extension. So front raise all the way up and then tricep extension, just like that. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Coming from all the way down, all the way up, turn, tricep extension, and then back all the way down. Excellent, you got it. You can scoot a little bit further in your chair to give yourself a little more range to swing those weights, but you don't want them to be falling or out of control. You want to work your muscle in both directions. And for that tricep press, try to keep your elbows in tight to your head. And as always, tummy nice and tight. Engage your core. Excellent. All right. That's our 6 exercises for today. So from here, we're going to go grab some water and then come back and do it all again. All right, guys, bring it back in. Going back to that lunge with the bicep curl. So you're going to be doing a lunge hold for 30 seconds on each leg. All right, here we go. Begin. Remember, I'll tell you halfway through when it's time to switch. One hand on the chair for balance. And if you need a little extra support, make the lunge a little shallower, just like that. You can also lean onto the chair to help take some of the weight off. If you don't need that, go back to the deeper lunge. 30 seconds, switch sides. Nice and steady. Looking good, you've got this. Five more seconds. And time, excellent. All right, recenter that chair. Grab your other weight. From here, we're going back into the weighted toe touches. And I like to slide out nice and far on the edge for this. Makes it a little easier for me. Remember, you're gonna stack the weights on your shoulders. And here we go, 1 minute. One of the keys to this one is to try to keep your back straight. You don't want to curl and hunch over. Try to hinge at your hip. Looking good. 20 more seconds. You can always adjust how far apart your knees are or where you're sitting on your chair to make it more comfortable. Keep it up. Almost there. And time. Excellent. All right, from here, we're going into those weighted leg raises. Remember, easier is up closer to your hips, harder is out towards your knees. Lean back against the back of the chair if you need extra support. 1 minute, here we go. And keep your hands on the weights just to keep them steady, but you don't want your hands supporting any of the weight. You want your legs doing all the work along with your core. Beautiful. Try to keep your legs nice and straight. And remember, if you find this easy and you want to up the difficulty, don't let your heels touch the ground. Almost there, guys. Ooh, keep it up. And time, beautiful. All right, from here, we're gonna go into those, the Arnold press. So going for that lighter weight. That's the one where you press overhead and then bring your elbows together in front of you. 1 minute, here we go. So we're going up and in. Rotating your palms so that they face in towards your face in the down position and out towards the front in the up position. If that rotational motion is too hard for your shoulders, just leave them out the whole time and just bring them forward. Have to stick with your range of motion for your body. More than halfway there. Keeping those feet planted and tummy tucked. Sitting up nice and tall. And making sure we never lock our elbows out. Keep a soft bend. Beautiful. All right, next up, we have our chops. I'm gonna go back up to that medium weight for me. But you do whatever's gonna work for you. We've got 30 seconds on each side. Here we go. Again, keep those feet planted. Sitting up nice and tall, tummy tight. Good twisting motion. We got 5 more seconds before we switch sides. And switch. Keep a generous bend in your elbows. This one is supposed to work more your obliques, although it does work your shoulders some too. 10 seconds to go. And time. All right, our last one for this set, those front raises into the tricep extension. So we're gonna definitely go down to our lighter weight for this one. All right, here we go, 1 minute. All the way up, turn them in, tricep extension, and then all the way back down. You've got it, good job. Of course, our same good form applies here. Sitting up nice and tall, tummy nice and tight. "20 seconds to go." Yeah, feel my shoulders burning for sure on this one. And time. Excellent. All right. Go grab some water and come back and we're going to do it one more time. All right, guys, bring it back in. Going back to finish off our last set. Back to that lunge. So grab your weight. A static lunge hold with a bicep curl. I'll tell you at 30 seconds in. Here we go. Still keeping your tummy tight. Tucking your tailbone under a little. Remember to make it easier. Come up a little in height and lean more on the chair. Make it more challenging. Drop that knee a little closer to the ground. And just use one finger for balance. Switch sides. You got it, almost there. And time, beautiful. All right, recenter that chair. Make sure you're in a good position. Next up, we've got our weighted cross toe touch. So grab your second weight. Scoot all the way to the edge of the chair. And here we go. Remember, you're trying to keep a nice flat back so that you're using mostly your back muscles. Your arms do a little work here, but it's mainly your back. "20 more seconds. You got this." And time. Beautiful. All right, from here, back into those weighted leg raises. I'm going to scoot my chair back just a little bit, reposition myself. All right, here we go. 1 minute on the clock. Bring the leg up until it's parallel to the floor. You can go a little higher if you would like. And if your range of motion is a little more limited, that's okay. Just go as high as you can. But the goal is parallel with the floor. The more you lean back, the more you'll engage your core muscles. So if you lean back to where you're just in front of the back of that chair, but not touching it, that'll give you the best core workout. I'm getting pretty sweaty. Almost there, 10 more seconds. Whew, we got this. And time. All right, next up we have that Arnold press. Back down to our lighter weights. We got 1 minute. Sitting up nice and tall. Here we go. Fun trivia fact, if you didn't know, it's called the Arnold press because it was created by Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his bodybuilder days. It's a great, efficient upper body workout, works shoulders, arms, and back all at one time. Halfway there. Keep it going. You got this. 10 more seconds. Remember, if you start to feel like your muscles are fatigued, you can always set the weights down and go to just doing it empty hand. Beautiful. All right. Next up, we have our chops. So back down to one weight, and we'll do 30 seconds on each side. All right, here we go. Does not matter which side you start on, because you're going to do both sides anyway. Halfway done on this side. You got this. Imagine you're chopping wood with an axe. Halfway done, switch sides. There we go. Looking good. Bringing it right across your body from shoulder to hip. Almost there, 5 seconds. And time. Beautiful. All right. Last one, our front raise into our tricep extension. Now, again, if your muscles are starting to feel fatigued, you can do this same motion, empty hand. Just take it slow and steady. But if you're still feeling good, go for it with the weights. All right, here we go, 1 minute. It's your last exercise. Bring them up, in, and back. Beautiful. Looking good, guys. You got this. Almost there. 30 more seconds. If you find that it's too hard to keep your elbows in tight to your head, go down a little bit in weight, or like I said, even drop the weight altogether. And just do the same motion, empty hand, and focus on squeezing those muscles and keeping the elbows in nice and tight. And time. Beautiful. All right. You're done with your last set. Go grab some water and then we'll stretch. Oh, gotta wipe the sweat off. That was a good one. All right, guys, bring it back in. We're gonna do a couple quick stretches in our chair. So again, with your feet nice and wide, sitting on the edge of your chair, bring your arms up over your head. Nice deep breath in, and then you're gonna do a forward fold in your chair, as far down as is comfortable for you. You can go all the way down to the floor. You can even walk your hands out if you have good flexibility and you wanna get a little more back stretch. Or you can just come down to whatever height works for you. From here, walk your hands in if you reached out. Roll up nice and slow. Bring your shoulders all the way up and then roll them down and back. We're gonna do a nice twist, reaching across the body to the opposite knee. Turn and look over your back shoulder. Maybe grab hold of the back of that chair and use that to leverage just a little bit. Making sure to stay in your range of motion. Don't over torque your back. Just do what's comfortable for you. And then back to center and go to the other side. Same thing, don't crank into it really hard. You just want to get a nice gentle stretch. And back to center. Take one arm, reach it across your body. You're going to turn your head and look the opposite direction. Take a nice deep breath. Try to drop that shoulder away from your chin a little bit more. Back to center and release. And then go to the other side. Look over the shoulder away from your hand that's outstretched. Deep breath. Sink that shoulder down a little bit further from your chin. And then come back to center and release. One more time, bring those arms up. And then fold all the way forward. Reach your arms out as far in front of you as you comfortably can, just until you feel a nice stretch across your upper back body and your shoulders. And then you're gonna walk your hands over to one side, get a little side stretch. And then back through center over to the other side. Get a little side stretch. And then back to the middle. Walk those hands in and push your way up. You are all done. Great job today. I will see you next week.